do the week 1 slate. I think there's some pretty good games. I probably will tell you while I go through this if I have somebody on fantasy. My fantasy video might be different than anybody else's just because I do an auction draft, and it's hell. I don't know if you guys participate in auction drafts, but they are not for the faint of heart. I miss a good old snake draft, and don't even get me started on our waiver wires. It's absolutely ridiculous. Again, I digress. Okay, so before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There will be weekly, if not every other day, videos now that the season is coming and starting. So if you like ASMR and you like sports, mainly NFL and NCAA football, this is your channel. We combine it together and create a great community, which, by the way, you guys are amazing. Love you all. Love talking to you in the comments about everything. It's great. So, alright, let's get started. As I ramble for 2 minutes and you guys are probably like, next video. So, starting Thursday, this upcoming Thursday, there's some NFL games. Well, one NFL game, and that is the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys and the Eagles. There's a lot to unpack here, but I do think that the Eagles, I don't know that they'll blow them out, but I think they will win, and it will be a dominating win. I don't know that Dallas is there yet. Maybe give it into the middle of the season, and you'll really see where they are, whether the Micah Parsons deal affects them. Kenny Clark, as a Packer fan, I love Kenny Clark. I loved him. So I think that he'll definitely help their run defense. But I think that Dallas has more questions than answers right now, and I just don't think they can overcome that when playing the Eagles. Maybe somebody else, but not the Eagles. Friday, there is a game in Friday, and I think it is in Brazil. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in Brazil. Brazil. You have the Chiefs and the Chargers. Now, with the Chiefs, I feel like they notoriously start the season off slow. I think they notoriously start the season off slow. And the Chargers are going to be interesting. I think they have a lot of pieces. Good pieces that will help them, and especially with Jamar Brown. I think that is like an X factor for everybody on that team. I think it's going to be a close game with the Chiefs winning. I'm wondering if Taylor's going to be there. She probably won't be, but maybe she will be. And if she is, the Chiefs will win. Travis can't disappoint his fiance on their first outing as fiancés together. Alright, and then the slate for Sunday. We have the Cardinals and the Saints. The Saints are, I think, projected to be maybe the worst team this year. But you never know. I do have Chris Olave on my fantasy team. So, for his Raiders and the Patriots. The Raiders have Geno, they have Ashton Genty, they have Brock Bowers. I think they have, they have Max Crosby. I'm not too sure about their defense, but I feel like their defense is good. And then the Patriots, they have a new coach as well. They have Mike Vrabel. They have Drake May, Stephon Diggs. I don't know if he's going to play, and he's all getting older, and his injury was kind of a major injury, so we'll see where that goes. Did they do enough in the offseason to build on what they did last year? I think that the Raiders win. And that's just probably my fantasy heart, hoping that Genty has like an amazing game. But I do believe in Drake May. I think he is a great quarterback. I just think that the Raiders are a little bit better in this situation, in this scenario. And then we have Rodgers and the Steelers going back to the Meadowlands. At least I think it's going back to the Meadowlands. Yeah, going back to the Meadowlands to play the Jets. I think the Steelers win. Though I do have Garrett Wilson, so I hope Fields and Wilson kind of find some magic. The Jets are like kind of a weird question mark. I think like they could be good. They could be good. Or they could be absolutely atrocious. I do think the Steelers win this game though. I don't think Rodgers is gonna go in there and lose. We have the Giants and the Commanders. The Giants and the Commanders. The Giants are interesting too. You have Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors. You have a kind of like a new look defense with who did they draft? Abdul Carter. I think, and can the Commanders build on what they did last year? I mean, they didn't lose a lot, and they got Debo, who is whatever, but I mean, you never know. I think the Commanders win this game, but I think when they play again, the Giants will win. We have the Panthers and the Jaguars in the next match at 1 p.m. This one's difficult for me. The Jaguars have a new coach. Can Trevor Lawrence be that guy? Is Travis Hunter that guy too? And then the Panthers also have a kind of a like, Bryce Young is there, and he showed at the end of the season that being benched and coming back was great for him mentally and his ability. And then you have McMillan, who they drafted in the first round. He looks solid. You have pieces on both sides. I think this will be a close game. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. That's my Alabama heart, hoping that Bryce Young shows up. The Bengals and the Browns, I don't know that we necessarily need to talk too much about this. I think that the Bengals will definitely win this game. It'll be interesting. I think the Browns have pieces of the puzzle. It's just they're a little askew. But that's like how it is for the Browns. Like, you've always had pieces, but you can never put it together. So I think the Bengals will win this game. And then the Buccaneers and the Falcons, that'll kind of be a fun game. I think Chris Godwin is going to be back, and he had a crappy injury last year. Michael Penix gets his start, and he is now the number one guy there. Penix, can Kyle Pitts be who everybody wanted him to be, that generational tight end? Drake London there, and then Bijan. I wouldn't surprise me if the Falcons pull this off. I think the Buccaneers are going to win the division, but because this is an early division game, I could see the Falcons winning this game. You have on the other side of the ball, you have Baker, you have Mike Evans, you have the rookie in Nagwaba. I think that's how you say his name. I probably butchered that. You have Chris Godwin, you have Bucky Irvin, you have a solid defense. I mean, they're a solid team, and I can definitely see them winning this game, or both teams winning this game. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to give it to the Buccaneers, but I can see the Falcons competing. After that, we have the 49ers and the Seahawks. The 49ers, contract. They added the pieces that they needed to in ways that they needed to. I feel like they're a little bit kind of lacking in wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk is on the pup list. You have Juwan Jennings. You have Ricky Pascal. George Kittle is there. Don't want to leave him out. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I think that with CMC back and Brian Robinson Jr. in the backfield, I think that opens up a lot for Brock Purdy, and he'll probably be better than what he was last year. He regressed a little bit, so I think that he'll be a lot better. And then on the other side, you have the Seahawks, new coach. No, not a new coach. I'm sorry, not a new coach. New offensive coordinator, new quarterback in Sam Darnold. You got rid of DK Metcalf. So I think the Seahawks are going to be interesting, and I think it's going to take them a little bit to get to where they need to be. So I'm going to say that the 49ers win this, but don't be surprised if Sam Darnold is the Sam Darnold of the Vikings. Don't be surprised if the Seahawks really push for a playoff spot this year. After that, you have the Titans and the Broncos. Now, I have Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback, but Bo Nix as my backup. So I love to see Bo go off. It'll be interesting to see Cam Ward, because he hasn't really gotten the recognition that he deserves at being the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm super excited to see him. I don't expect Tennessee to be great this year, but I think it's a stepping stone in the right direction. I do think the Broncos will win. They're pretty solid all the way around. We have the Lions and the Packers. Now, I am a Packer fan. The Lions have dominated the Packers the last 2 years, especially at Lambeau. The Lions have a little bit of a question here. Aiden Hutchinson, is he at full speed? Is he ready to go? Jared Goff, is he there? Is he still the same person that you had? Then you have to look at, you have new offensive coordinators, you have new defensive coordinators. Is that going to make a difference? Is the scheme the same? I don't know. And then on the other side, you have the Packers, who all of a sudden are in the spotlight and Super Bowl contenders in a major way after getting Parsons. Now, the big thing is Parsons going to play? He's probably not going to play at 100%. He's not going to do 100% of the snaps. It'll be interesting to see how they all mesh together. I mean, we were all excited when Damian Lillard was traded to the Bucks, but they didn't really mesh well together. I'm not saying Damian Lillard was a bad idea. I just think, it didn't work out, and it sucked because I like Damian and I like Giannis. I really wish they would have kept Drew Holiday. I think, this is a tangent, I think that the Bucks were better with Drew Holiday. That's just my opinion. And is Jordan Love healthy? Is his thumb healthy? enough to protect Caleb Williams, because that was a big issue last year. I mean, I think he took like 60 sacks or 58 sacks. I mean, it was crazy, and it's been an issue for like 5 years with the Bears. They addressed it. They even got him a little bit more help with the wide receiver out of Missouri in the draft. That was a steal there. So you got the pieces. Now, again, can you put them together and make a run for it? I do think that the NFC North is a division that people should look at. I think anybody can win that division. It'll be an interesting year. I'm going to say the Bears win this game. And I think Caleb Williams is going